Imagine a world where every detail of your life is dictated by the state, from your haircut to your thoughts. For the 26 million people in North Korea, this is reality. Individuality is a crime, and freedom comes at the highest cost. Today we'll explore the web of control that defines daily life in the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. By examining these rules, we can better appreciate our own liberties, not as guarantees but as fragile privileges. Here are 34 rules in North Korea that will make you value your freedom. In North Korea, even your hairstyle is chosen for you. 18 approved cuts for women, 10 for men. Any deviation is seen as rebellion, a threat to the regime's demand for conformity. This isn't about style, it's about erasing individuality and making your very appearance a tool of state control. Blue jeans, an everyday item elsewhere, are banned in North Korea, condemned as symbols of Western decadence. Wearing them is a political act, marking you as an enemy of the state. Even clothing becomes a battleground in the regime's war against outside influence. Every home must display spotless portraits of the Kim leaders, with failure to do so considered a serious offense. These portraits turn private spaces into shrines, ensuring the state's presence is felt even in your most personal moments. It's psychological control, your loyalty is always on display. North Koreans are cut off from the global internet, limited to a state-run intranet called Kwangmyong. This digital isolation keeps citizens in an information vacuum, surrounded only by government-approved content. The illusion of connection hides a reality of total censorship. Watching foreign films, especially from South Korea or Hollywood, is a capital offense. The regime fears the power of outside stories to inspire curiosity and dissent. Even a simple movie night can become an act of deadly defiance. Foreign music is banned, replaced by state-approved songs praising the regime. By controlling what people hear, the government shapes how they feel and think. Music becomes another front in the battle for ideological purity. Religion is ruthlessly suppressed. The only faith allowed is in the Kim dynasty. Owning a Bible or practicing any religion can lead to execution or lifelong imprisonment. The regime demands not just loyalty of the body, but of the soul. Education is compulsory, but families must pay for basics like desks, chairs, and even heating. This burden exposes the regime's failure to provide for its people, turning school into another source of hardship. Even learning comes at a cost in North Korea. Careers are assigned by the state based on family background and political loyalty. Personal ambition is irrelevant, your future is decided for you. Dreams are replaced by state-mandated roles. Only the most loyal citizens can live in Pyongyang, enjoying privileges denied to the rest. Internal movement is tightly controlled. Your address reflects your political worth. The capital is a showcase for the elite, while the majority remain isolated and deprived. Private car ownership is nearly non-existent, and travel requires hard-to-get permits. The regime restricts movement to keep people isolated and information contained. North Korea's empty highways are a symbol of enforced immobility. North Korea uses the Juche calendar starting from Kim Il-sung's birth in 1912. This alternate timeline reinforces the regime's narrative of separation and self-importance. Even time itself is rewritten to serve the state. Watching or possessing pornography is punishable by death. The regime sees it as a corrupting foreign influence and enforces brutal punishments. Even private desires are policed with lethal consequences. International phone calls are illegal, contact with the outside world is forbidden, communication is tightly monitored to prevent outside influence and maintain isolation. The regime enforces a silence that deepens the nation's isolation. Tourists are constantly monitored by government minders, never allowed to explore freely. Every interaction is staged, every movement watched. The regime controls what outsiders see and what citizens are exposed to. Fake stores and even entire towns are built to deceive visitors and project an image of prosperity. These elaborate facades hide the harsh reality faced by ordinary citizens. North Korea's showcase is a carefully constructed illusion. Public executions are still used to terrorize the population and enforce obedience. Citizens, including children, are forced to witness these brutal spectacles. The message is clear: dissent will be met with deadly force. Students are required to perform manual labor for the state, from farming to construction. This unpaid work is framed as socialist duty but is really forced child labor. Education is secondary to serving the regime. All media is state-controlled, serving only to praise the leaders and spread propaganda. There is no free press, no independent journalism, only the regime's voice. Information is a tool of control, not enlightenment. State security can search homes at any time, without warning or warrant. These raids instill constant fear, ensuring no one feels safe, even at home. Privacy is a foreign concept in North Korea. Marriage requires state approval, with background checks on family loyalty. The regime decides who can marry whom, preserving its rigid social hierarchy. Love is secondary to political expediency. Possessing a Bible is considered a political crime, often punished by execution or imprisonment for entire families. The regime cannot tolerate any authority higher than itself. The only sacred texts allowed are those written by the Kim family. Families must provide food, money, and even uniforms for their children in the military. The state demands sacrifice but fails to support its own soldiers. Military service is both a burden and a tool of control. Freedom of speech does not exist. Even a joke or complaint can be reported and punished as treason. A vast network of informants keeps everyone in check. The result is a nation silenced by fear. The three-generation rule means entire families are punished for one person's political crime. Children and grandchildren can be born and die in prison camps for offenses they never committed. This hereditary punishment ensures total obedience. Tourists are forbidden from speaking to locals without a minder present, and locals are ordered not to interact with foreigners. Genuine conversation is impossible. Every interaction is staged. The regime maintains its information barrier at all costs. Public displays of grief for deceased leaders are mandatory and closely monitored. Insufficient mourning can lead to punishment, including forced labor. Even emotions must be performed on command. North Korean education is dominated by the study of the Kim family's lives and ideology. Critical thinking is replaced by memorization and worship of the leaders. The goal is to create loyal disciples, not independent minds. Sarcasm or humor about the regime is dangerous, punishable by interrogation or imprisonment. The state cannot tolerate even the slightest mockery. Fear stifles not just speech, but even the nuances of human interaction. All television is state-run, broadcasting only propaganda and regime-approved content. There are no alternative viewpoints, no entertainment outside the party line. The TV is a tool for mass indoctrination, not information. Leaving North Korea is nearly impossible. Borders are heavily guarded and escapees face torture or execution if caught. The ban on foreign travel traps citizens in a system they cannot flee. The entire nation is an open-air prison. Even minor deviations in hairstyle are policed, with fashion patrols enforcing conformity. A trendy or Western haircut is seen as a threat to the regime's ideology. In North Korea, your hair is a political statement. Military service lasts up to 10 years for men, consuming the prime of their youth. It's a tool for indoctrination and free labor, shaping citizens into loyal subjects. The regime sacrifices its youth for control and military might. The Songbun system assigns every citizen a social class at birth, determining their entire future. There is no social mobility. Your fate is sealed by your family's political history. It is the ultimate denial of human potential. We've glimpsed a world where every choice is controlled, every freedom denied. North Koreans are not so different from us. They long for love, purpose, and a better future. The only difference is the system that crushes those dreams. If you're watching this, you have freedoms others can only imagine. Never take them for granted, they must be protected and cherished. Let's value our open world, and stand up for freedom, for ourselves, and for those who can't.